Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Gobind. This is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys for watching if you're watching live. And if you're watching the replay, welcome to this video. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up so we can get it circulating, and welcome. You guys, this full moon is insane. We're going to go through the chart. I'm going to talk about the energy of this full moon. I'm going to talk about what this full moon means for us collectively, and also what it means for you personally based on your sun sign and your rising sign. We're going to do that part at the end of the broadcast. Make sure that you also share this video if you'd like to. And some of the awesome things that are happening on this channel that I'm going to share with you before we dive into the astrology is that I have started a new weekly mini readings, live mini readings here on YouTube. And for now, it is happening on Friday nights. So join me on Fridays for mini readings for $25. If you want to get on the list, there is, I think I put the link in the description of this video, but if I didn't, I'll add it once the video is over. Anyways, these mini readings you can choose from doing a natal chart reading where I look at your natal chart, or a transit reading where I look at how the current transits are affecting your chart, or you can have me do tarot or oracle. And they've been really fun, and I've been enjoying them. And there's been a lot of really powerful revelations, let's just say, coming out of those mini readings. So Friday night, we'll go at it again. If you want to get on the list, to make sure you send $25 to my PayPal. Okay, if you want to sign up for a astrology or tarot reading with me, I just got done with the new offering, which is a transit reading and a tarot reading. So it's like the best of both worlds. And what we do is, you do have to know the time that you were born, because that's the most accurate alignment that we can find in the natal chart. And then also, when we put the transit reading on top of your natal chart, it's very accurate. So that is actually now available on my website. It is an hour-long reading, and I prepare for it beforehand by looking at your chart, obviously, in the transits, and looking at what it is that you're wanting clarity or guidance on. And then you will receive a PDF file with the images of the transits and your chart, and also my notes that I took while I was looking at your chart. And you get a replay for that as well. So if you've gotten a reading with me, you kind of know the deal. It's pretty awesome, but that is a new offering that is available on my website, channelforgrace.guru. And I also have my online course, self-study course called Woman and the Moon, to help you understand the phases of the moon, cycles of the moon centers, and how we as women emotionally flow, and how we can become more emotionally balanced in our own lives and empowered as women. So let's see who's in the chat. Nayeli, welcome in. Valerie, how's it going? Stacy, welcome. Deidre, how are you? Michelle, hello. Hey, Mystery Science, John. Hey, Lindsay, how are you? Hey, Sunflower and Mary. Hey, guys. So I figured you guys were still going to be awake Sunday night. I mean, I usually go live at 6 p.m., but it's already 8:25 where I'm at, and I'm like still awake because of this like spring forward daylight savings time. I feel like I'm not tired at all. I mean, I'm never really tired at 8:25, but I feel like I'm going to be up all night. Does anybody else feel that? But it's probably because of this freaking full moon energy. Like this full moon, you guys. And the moon has already moved into Virgo. So if you've been feeling a shift energetically, it moved from Leo. It was in Leo. And that's more of like, it's like a high vibe energy, exciting, want to have fun, playful energy. But then in Virgo, we're like, all right, we got back in business. We got stuff to do. We need to make our list. We need to get organized about our lives. And Mercury is also going direct soon. Mercury's going to go direct tomorrow night, like late at night. We're going to talk about that too. So how are you guys feeling? I literally already feel like I'm going to be up all night. This is kind of crazy. Yeah, you too, Julene. Oh, hey, Julene, welcome in. Yes, you feel amped up, Lindsay. Big time shift. Yes. So in a nutshell, well, basically, I'm just going to start going over. I always take notes before I do these broadcasts because I want to give you like the most detailed information that I can, and I don't want to miss anything. So I always have my notes in front of me. So if you catch me reading a little bit, it's because I have my notes in front of me. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Actually, Virgo loves that shit. Virgo's like, let's get started. We are prepared. No, but seriously, you have felt a big shift. Hello, everyone. Yes, you had insomnia last night, Mary. Welcome to the broadcast. Hey, Diana. Thank you for coming in. You're wide awake. I know, right? You've been up since 5:30. Dang, you feel empowered? Nice, Jennifer. An all-nighter for sure. Anticipatory. Well, that's a good descriptive word. It's 11. That's what I was saying. I was like, a lot of people watching me and you guys are on the East Coast and it's like 11:30 for you guys. And now your guys are like, what's up? Like, we're up. Let's do this. I was literally planning on going live at 6 and then it's, you know what I mean, 8:30 and I'm just not going live. So anyways, Valerie's like, yes, we do. She's a major Virgo energy in her chart. Mercury direct right after Virgo full moon. Feeling it. Yeah. So we're at the last moments of Mercury retrograde. So it has already retrograded back into Aquarius. So there's like, it was weird, right? Because usually we get Mercury retrograde in one sign, but last time it was like a major Scorpio retrograde. This time it's like Pisces and Aquarius. So right now it's like the energy of the retrograde has actually shifted. Aquarius is much different. Like Mercury actually really likes being in Aquarius. It's sort of like a matching energy. I think any of the air signs are going to enjoy being, with Mercury. But the retrograde is always that reflection time. So what are we reflecting on? And this is the sign that is connected to Uranus and the changing world, the Aquarian age, the new shift, the new vibration, innovation, freaking Nikola Tesla type stuff, right? But that's what we're like sort of getting this deep look into right now. And Aquarius does like to actually study things and look for the clues and do it because they want to make the world a better place. Yes, Mercury loves air for sure. You're wide awake there on the East Coast. So full moons, when we think about like the cycle of the moon, right? We've been talking a lot about this in the Moon Goddess training. We just finished yesterday, and it was such a beautiful it took longer than 6 weeks because we skipped a week because I was sick, but it was such a beautiful 6-week experience, and I am excited already for the next time that I'll do that program. But the next big project that I'm working on is an astrology course, a beginner's astrology course. And I am looking for people who are interested in doing a pilot program. You'll still have to pay for it, but it'll be pretty much the only program that I'll ever do like that, because the next phase will be the self-study course that I will upload onto my website. But I do need feedback as to the way of teaching it and how you guys learn the best and things like that. And so that's what the whole pilot program is all about. So if you're interested in that, feel free to send me an email, or just, an email is the best, because then that person-to-person communication is the best, if you're really seriously interested. But my email is jaigobind@channelforgrace.guru. See what's going on in the chat. Libra needs to enjoy something. You're in Florida? You're sitting in the moonlight? Nice. I bet you the moon looks pretty big. You feel ready, Deidre? Yeah, it was amazing. But basically, when you think about the cycle of the cycle of the moon basically starts with the new moon. That's like day 1. And then it goes day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, 6, 7. So it goes like that. And it's this like 28.5-day cycle. But full moons in general are the culmination of a cycle that has begun with the previous new moon. Every full moon is always going to be in the opposing sign that the new moon was in. So if we have, for example, a new moon in Aries, the full moon will be in Libra, right? If we have a new moon in Taurus, the full moon will be in Scorpio. Hey, Wendy, and so on and so forth. If we have a new moon in Gemini, the full moon will be in Sagittarius. It's always like that. And so because we just had that new moon in Pisces, the opposite sign is Virgo. So we're dealing with this duality between Pisces and Virgo. It is the completion of that period. The new moon in Pisces that we had 2 weeks ago and the full moon in Virgo that we're having tomorrow are very significant, because these two signs represent the mystical as well as the earthly energy. Hey, Shannon. So we're talking like subconscious mind, dream world, things that seem like they're illusions. There's a lot of like powerful Neptune is very strong right now in the sky. It's actually conjuncting the sun right now. And then Uranus is conjuncting Venus too. So there's like energy right now, especially with the Uranus conjunction. But then the Neptune is like Neptune rules the house of Pisces. And so right now you're either feeling very like you're getting swept away by all of these illusions and all of these like stories and propaganda that's going on, or you're like very grounded. Right? There's a balance with holding on and letting go. Ooh, I like that, John. Yes. So the Virgo is the holding on and the Pisces is the letting go. And so in a sense, it's almost like these two dualities have to find their middle ground. We have to find the middle ground between these two energies. So the experience of the divine and the experience of the three-dimensional reality is what we're talking about here. When these two dualities merge, we're literally bringing the mystical, the divine, into the physical time-space reality. It is Virgo literally anchors the light. If you guys have ever heard of Matt Kahn, he talks a lot about being anchoring the light and being the anchors of light, right? What is light worker? You're anchoring the light. And that's very much that Virgo, like, bring it through. Because Virgo also represents the virgin, right? So like, we think of If you think of archetypes, the Virgin it holds divine energy, right? It is the only one that holds divine. You know what I mean? It's pure, it's clear, it's lots of words to describe that. But Virgo represents that as well. So they hold that divine energy within themselves. Now, Virgo there's always like a positive expression and a negative expression, although I don't actually like using those words, but there's always, hey Micah, there's always an expression of where the sign or the zodiac is at its best, and then a part of it where it's kind of at its worst. And the Virgo tends to flow towards perfectionism and also being very critical. But those are sort of tools, or it's almost like when Virgo energy understands its purpose, it literally is that anchor for the divine energy. And the perfection that it seeks is not perfection per se in the physical world. It's more of like the divine perfection, which in essence is saying that everything is perfect, or realizing that everything is perfect just the way it is. Virgo focuses on the here and the now, hey Steph, while Pisces calls in God. So we become the channels of grace to flow through. We're able to see things more clearly, because that's very Virgo. They want clarity. We begin to also focus on the details of how we can serve the world. This full moon is the completion of also the entire astrological new year, because remember, we're about to move into Aries. The sun is about to move into Aries, which marks the beginning of an entire new astrological year, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So this is the completion period. Plus, the moon is going to get, and it's not really relevant to astrology as much as it is relevant to astronomy, but there is a connection here. The moon is going to be very close to the earth. And when that happens, thanks Mystery Science, when that happens, the moon looks like it's huge. And that's why they call it the super moon. So it's like a super moon, full moon in Virgo. That's not an astrological term, but it is really close to the earth. And when you think about it, there is a significance there. There is you can think about why are we perceiving from the point of view, you know what, I'm going to take that back, because there is an astrological connection here, and it's in the meaning of it. So astrology, geocentric astrology, basically when we're looking at the charts, which we'll look at the full moon chart in a minute, but when we look at the chart, the center of the chart is the earth. So basically what you're looking at when you look at the chart, my dog just left the room. She's like, I'm out of here. It's hilarious. When you look at it, it's almost like you're standing in the middle and you are looking up at the sky. You're standing on the earth and you're looking up at the sky. And it is based on the point where you're standing. So when I show you charts, they're from the point of view where I'm at. If you look at a chart from the point of view where you're at, the houses are going to be very different. But the planets are still going to be in the exact same signs, making the same aspects. But there is a difference based on where, what point of view you have. So you're looking up at the sky and you're seeing the sky. That's basically the chart. So what does it mean for the moon to be very close to the earth? What it means for the moon to be very close to the earth is it's going to feel like it has an even more powerful effect. Because if you ever go outside and you look at the moon in those times where it has been a supermoon, where it's been very close to the earth, right? You feel like, oh my God, like it's like coming at me. And that is just adding to the intensity of this full moon in general. So I highly recommend that, you know, whether tonight or tomorrow, you actually take the time to be outside and go look at the moon wherever you're at. I think during the day we'll be able to see it too. So let's go into the energy of Virgo and ask, what does Virgo want? So Virgo wants us to get our ish together. I'm trying to cuss less. Hey, Sheila. Virgo wants us to get organized, wants us to fix things, to do things right, to stop overlooking the details and clean up the mess, to start living in the moment, to be of service, to anchor the light of God within your essence and literally bring heaven to earth. Virgo is an earth sign, and it must feel grounded in order to function properly. If you ever look at a Virgo and they're like not feeling right, they're like all over the place. They're in their heads a lot. You know what I mean? They're just like all over the place. But when Virgos are grounded and focused, man, can they get stuff done. I mean, it's incredible. They have an incredible amount of energy to just, you know, stay on task and focus. No way to know that is how Lilith is in Pisces. The moon had a rainbow around it. Very cool. So, because because Virgo is an earth sign and it really needs to be grounded, that is welcome to my world. That is part of what we're gonna have to do in order to really like kind of harvest the energy of this full moon, because getting too lost in your headspace will not work right now because of all that Neptune stuff that's going on, the illusion. If you get lost in it, it'll be like you're in, you know, Alice in Wonderland, in Wonderland, and nothing is as it seems, which is kind of it's a clue to what's going on right now in the world. But focusing on the wrong thing will veer you off track. And crossing into the realm of perfectionism, meaning that like the bad expression of perfectionism, will only make you so critical that it will be impossible to manifest what you truly want. This full moon is a moment for Virgo, the energy of Virgo, to take over and work its magic. That's why I said I call this video Let the Magic Begin. So you better get out of its way. And actually, like, if you're resisting it, you need to get out of the way. You need to get out of your own way, because Virgo wants to take over and you need to let it. So whatever you're resisting, stop. Stop resisting. There are also many powerful transits and aspects going on basically tomorrow, bring it on, when the full moon happens. For example, that, you know, the Venus just moved into Taurus, which is significant because she rules the sign of Taurus. Mercury's going direct. We talked a little bit about that hours after the full moon, but still on the same day. And we're going to cover all of these so you can actually get like a bigger picture of how this is going to affect you. So I'm going to hop on over to the actual chart. Let me find it first. There it is. Okay. By the way, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. So once I get the chart up on the screen, I'm going to talk to you guys about what's going on. This part of the, you know, this broadcast, which I do every time there's a new moon and every time, hello else, every time there's a full moon, is a part where you can actually, you should take advantage of this, and it's an opportunity for you to learn a little bit of more astrology. And I need to make sure that that my little pen works, so give me a second. Markup. My iPad's about to die. How is it about to die if it was just at almost fully charged? Oh, I don't think it's actually about to die, but I think the picture says about to die. So give me a second, you guys. It's giving me a hard time. Yeah, there's 33 in the chat. In the chat. That's so cool. Look how cuspy Lilith is. May I add, cuspy? Actually, it is very cuspy. Oh my goodness. Please, let me just have my little thing where I can control the little... Ugh. Okay, let's try this again. This is officially the most annoying thing ever. I wonder... Okay, hang on. I'm going to try one more thing. That's probably why. Okay, so I'm starting to get a hint here. I always tell Dawn, like, follow the clues. Listen for the clues. They're always there. Okay, we're going to move that out of the way for a second so I can actually look at my notes. So here we go. This is the chart of the full moon. And the way that you always know it is a full moon because the sun is opposing the moon. So we've got the moon at 19 degrees down here in Virgo, 37 minutes. And then the sun at 19 degrees and 37 minutes of Pisces. The moon is also opposing Venus, obviously opposing the sun, but it's also opposing Venus because Venus is conjuncting the sun. So the first thing we want to look at is the opposition from the moon to the sun and to Neptune, which are over here. So again, there's that. Right now there's like a high possibility of getting lost in an illusion. That's what Neptune represents. Getting lost in something that is not real. And this goes both with what is going on in your own life and what is going on in the world. Neptune can bring in a beautiful and inspiring and imaginative energy. But if we are lost in an illusion, we can get nightmares instead of dreams, right? I mean, you've been there before, right? I've used this analogy before, but what is going on in the world right now is a bit like the movie The Sphere. Can you let me know in the chat, just put up your hand if you've watched the movie The Sphere? I've talked about it before. It's intense. The Neptune-Sun conjunction is intense. So we have the potential to create the most powerful and beautiful dreams we've ever imagined. But a lot of us are instead getting lost in that illusion, like in the train of doubt and fear, and our worst, and creating literally our worst nightmares because we haven't been able to decipher between what's real and what's not real in our lives. And because Neptune rules television and the media, and we know that these two have been used to push certain agendas, it's almost like be careful what you buy into right now, both in your life and in regards to collective energy. Do you actually have all the facts? Like, do you actually have all the facts? This is like the battle between the mind versus the heart. Science versus intuition, or things that we can't prove using the scientific method. Our soul is taking this deep dive into the ocean. Neptune is the... he's the god of the ocean. No, what is he? What is he, John? Who's Neptune? He's the god of the sea, right? Yeah. I just was thinking maybe he had like a special name or something, but he doesn't. He's just the god of the ocean. So basically our soul is taking this deep dive into the ocean right now, because the sun represents the ocean and also the abyss, right? It's the ocean, or like an abyss. And especially with Neptune in its ruling sign of Pisces, it is important to trust your inner guidance about everything that is going on. It's like waking up from a hypnosis that you didn't know that you were in, or waking up and finally seeing the matrix and what is actually going on. It's facing the truth and not being afraid of the future. So this is basically a major theme going on right now for everyone. And how we deal with it is up to us. Poseidon, there we go. Each and every one of us. But this moon in Virgo is about to give us this big help, right? Because it's going to like ground us. There are many trines and sextiles going on that will bring a lot of positive energy, but also like a few squares that are also important to look at. The first trine is, we're going to look at this trine to Mars. Look over here, the moon is trining Mars. This is going to be activating a passionate ambition and an imagination, along with determination and persistence for the Virgo full moon to achieve what it's here to do. So it's kind of like it's got this little ally called Mars, who's a freaking warrior. And he's in Capricorn, which means that's another earth sign. Capricorn and Virgo actually, in some strange way, they kind of want the same thing in a way. Virgo's more focused on perfection and doing things right, but Capricorn is focused on goals, and it's very ambitious. Those two coming together, good combination. Ariel's father, right? That's a good combination. Now, obviously, Jupiter is right next, to Mars, so he's going to be trining Jupiter too. And Jupiter always magnifies everything. He magnifies things. He also brings good luck and abundance and fortune. And that's what he's going to be doing. So that's a good thing too. So who else is next to Jupiter? Well, we got Pluto right there. He's also conjuncting. And Saturn too, but we've been talking a lot about Saturn, so I just want to focus on this Jupiter-Pluto thing. When the moon trines Pluto, it's going to give this Virgo full moon this sort of natural talent for psychology and underlying emotional strength. It's going to be like, ooh, I understand you at a very deep level. I understand what's going on at a very deep level. That is how I can get myself out of the rabbit hole and back to reality. Right? It's going to help the moon trust that it is here to do some massive energetic clearing. Because Pluto also is transformation and change. The other trine that's happening is, or actually sextile, is the sun is sextiling Jupiter. That's true too. Everything has a good side and a bad side. These activations need to slow down. My head says one thing, my intuition says a different thing. Intuition is probably stronger. Like, it's subtle too sometimes. I was just going to write down the question I was going to ask you. If you were going to do questions with donations, what are you talking about? So mini readings are going to be on Friday nights. But definitely sign up for that now. Get on the list now if you want to. It's $25 to my PayPal. Okay, so the sun is sextiling Jupiter. Remember, I talked about this a while ago, but this is like a sun-Jupiter day. It's not sun conjunct Jupiter. It's not sun trine Jupiter, but it is a sextile. It's not exact, but it's right there. It's kind of like, I'm here. You know? Like, hey, what's up? So the reason why, my memory in Libra can be annoying. So I think this is going to be this is a powerful energy that adds to this moon. I think it magnifies a lot of what's going on, because you got Jupiter magnifies the sun and also is magnifying the moon right now. It's sextiling the sun and trining the moon. It's almost like both things are like blown up. That's why it's so easy to get lost, right? In the abyss. And to not recognize what's going on, that you're actually manifesting. You are, there's thoughts, there's actions, there's decisions, there's choices that you're making. And once you realize you are making those choices, it changes the way that you make choices. If you're making choices that are not healthy for you. So probably one of the most powerful, and positive transits will be this sextile from the sun to Jupiter. So although Neptune is here, it can literally go, because Neptune is there, like I said, it literally can go two ways. So Jupiter on this day is like the movie The Sphere. It will magnify anything that you want. So do you want positivity, abundance, clarity, or do you want to dive into an illusion, into fear, into doubt, and in darkness? It's literally up to each and every one of us, because we do have free will. The Venus conjunct Uranus transit is also important. We're going to talk about that next. And actually, Venus-Uranus conjunction is sextiling and trining the nodes as well. So where's Venus and Uranus? They're over here in Taurus. The exact conjunction was actually earlier today, but it's still strong right now. But they are sextiling the north node, trining the south node, and of course the nodes are opposite each other always. The powerful conjunction between this Uranus and Venus in Taurus is causing an awakening, a transformation of our relationships, of how we see the world. Venus in Taurus is also urging us to see the beauty all around us and urging us to ground our energy and to trust ourselves and our inner voice. The world as we knew it is over, and we are transitioning. We know this, but it is a theme, so it's going to keep coming up. We're going to be transitioning pretty much all of 2020, so don't be afraid to dive deep into the Neptunian ocean to discover your truth, but don't get lost in it. If you've always done things a certain way, it's time to change. It's time to do things differently, and there is no one but Virgo in its most powerful ascended form to help us see the details of what needs to change. So you got to take your little magnifying glass and analyze your life. Analyze this and analyze that. I'm going to go through each of the signs at the end, okay? Right now we're talking about collective. So it is not to be critical, but to see what needs your attention. Are you running away from dealing with certain things? Are you escaping because it feels good to pretend everything is okay? What does running away do for you? Does it solve anything? Are you moving forward at all in your life? Are you making progress? Do you feel like giving up right now? Are you living in fear? Are you afraid? Are you giving into the deception that goes on both at the collective level and the individual level? The deception, the way you deceive yourself, because we do. Where are you at, really? How are you going to clean up your mess? If you've made one. Like, what actions are you going to take? This is not about being obsessed or overcritical. It's about coming back to reality and seeing what's actually here right in front of you. Remember, Virgo is that earth sign. She wants to bring you back to reality, back into the present moment, 6th house stuff. Doesn't let you run away anymore. That's what this moon is about. Not running away, not walking blindly anymore, not giving into fear. When your perspective changes, so does everything in your life. It's time for this perspective change. So let's talk about the Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto conjunction. They're not exact, and Jupiter and Pluto will be in exact conjunction in April. I think April 8th. But there's what we call a Capricorn stellium. It's a stellium in the sky in Capricorn, and it's with some pretty major players. Mars, the god of war. Jupiter, right? The divine masculine. Santa Claus. Pluto, the god of the underworld. Saturn, the god of karma, the god of time. They're together right now. I mean, that's like major players, right? Who would Jupiter be? He would be the god of, would he be Zeus? I think maybe I can think of him as Zeus in a way. I don't know why. But the Capricorn stellium between these planets, including the South Node, I mean, they're kind of moving a little farther away. South Node is at 5 degrees, and then Mars starts at 15, then it goes 21, 24, 28. But still, right there in Capricorn, and it's been in Capricorn for like 18 months. I mean, not 18 months, but it takes 18 months for the nodes to change. They're going to change in May. The nodes are going to change in May from Cancer and Capricorn into Gemini and Sagittarius, which I am like so freaking stoked about. But anyways, this conjunction is still going strong. This theme of, we got the god of death, right? We got death, we got rebirth, we got expansion, we got drive away from the past and towards the future. This is exactly what 2020 is all about. And these major astrological events like new and full moons, they highlight major aspects of this theme. Mars will be tomorrow, probably already now, sextile to Neptune. Here we go. There we are. So we'll talk about this one. Hey, Eric. Hey, Shannon. So there's a little trick that Neptune is playing on us. On one end, we have the illusion. On the other, we have reality. We are standing in the middle, not knowing which way to turn. But when Neptune sextiles Mars, he activates Mars towards using its intuition to move forward, so that we actually have the psychic wisdom, or use the psychic inner wisdom to guide us and not to let the fear guide us. And sometimes what it all means is you have to move forward despite the fear. The only other planet, in the sky, I believe, well, Pluto too, but I feel like the planet in the sky that's gonna do this is Mars. Mars is the warrior. He is courageous, the courageous warrior. He will move forward despite his fear. He will not let his fear hold him back. So that is the example here. We get that too. And then we have the Saturn square Uranus. Here's Saturn, here's Uranus again, and there's the square. The square from Saturn to Uranus is the push to make a decision. Saturn wants us to have stability and structure. Uranus wants us to have freedom. But remember that Saturn just went through a humbling. I call the Saturn-Pluto conjunction the humbling. It just went through a humbling when it passed Pluto in January. So he has a new perspective on the whole stability and structure thing. And since he's about to move into the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign that rules Uranus, he's about to give us massive insight into the kinds of structures and the kind of stability that will make sense in a world where freedom to be yourself will have more importance. So how do we find that balance? This is a question that all of humanity has to ask itself right now. How do you transition from something we knew so well in the back, like the back of our hand, to an entire new way of being? Yeah, right? Well, first of all, we need to give it time, Saturn. And we allow ourselves to try things, new things, Uranus. That's how we're going to figure it out. This is what this square is challenging us to do. To give it time, but to try something new, to try new things. Chiron is also doing an aspect to the nodes here. He's actually T-squaring the nodes. He's right here. square, square, opposition. He's the wounded healer. The wounded healer is not being silent during this full moon either. Another major player, right? The Galactic Federation of Light is totally using that energy. I'm sure it is. All right, this is a powerful energy. So this T square is a reminder of the importance of why all of this is happening in the first place. It is because we're supposed to leave behind the old and step into the new world. It is because we're supposed to move away from the mind and towards the heart. It is because that's the nodes. It is because we're supposed to heal, collectively heal. And that is the whole point. This collective healing. We are on the same journey. Hours after the full moon. So the full moon is like the peak, I think it's in the morning. This chart was taken at 10:48 a.m. Pacific time. 10:11 till so 1:48 Eastern time. The peak is earlier in the day, and Mercury goes direct hours later. He's retrograde. He's not just retrograde, he's retrograde at the last degrees of Aquarius. Just like Lilith, but she's in Pisces. Retrograde in Aquarius is like the mad scientist that wants to figure it out. He's actually going to be supporting us in our search for clarity, truth, and sensibility. He will help us and the Virgo with the Virgo energy see past the illusions, and then we will be able to make a plan, organize ourselves, and start moving forward again when Mercury goes direct. So that's what's going on. It's massive. It's like a huge cleanup in the sky. Let's transfer back to me real quick, and then I'm gonna. So what do you guys think about that? Pretty crazy, right? I like it. I'm freaking ready. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to get our ish together, you know? I think we're ready to like move forward. It's like this is the opportunity that we get to, like, this is definitely a full moon that we should like harness the energy, right? This is definitely a moon that we need to take seriously. It's not a new moon, so it's not like setting intentions, but it's like, I would actually recommend like you sit down and ask yourself all those questions that I was like throwing out there. It's important. This is how we grow. Yes. So, I know I'm missing a lot of comments, but what I want to do now is go through each of the zodiac signs. So this is going to be the most accurate for your rising sign, but you can also take a look at your sun sign. I'm going to say sun sign and rising sign. If you want to take a look at other signs and how they, you know, how it if it resonates with you or not, that's cool. But I'm going to do sun sign and rising sign. So we're going to start with Aries because Aries is the first sign. And we're going to go through the whole zodiac. And I'm going to tell you what house this moon is happening in for you. Now you have to remember too, if you really want an accurate reading, you should know your natal chart. Because when you know your natal chart and you know your houses, you know where the moon is kind of hitting you in your chart. Because it is possible that what I say is not exact to your chart because of the slight differences in the houses. Either way, just if something resonates, go with it. So because this full moon is about cleaning up our mess, I'm going to talk about in what area of your life are you working on cleaning up? So what area of your life are you working on cleaning up? That's how we're going to look at this. Who's Aries? And I want to know who's what in the chat. So if you're an Aries, just say me or say Aries. But for Aries, this full moon is happening in your 6th house, Aries sun and rising, in your 6th house. So the 6th house is the Virgo's home sign. So this is powerful, a powerful full moon for you. I think for Aries, they always get this intensity when it comes to the house placements, because most likely the houses are in their natural positions, and that gives a lot of like power to the Aries. It is also like the first sign of the zodiac, so it's like the starting point, it's the initiation, it's the spark that gives light to the universe, right? So it's called off the chart. Oh my God. But this is happening in your sixth house of the present moment. It's ruled by Virgo. And it's also about, it could be in the realm of work. It could be in the realm of health. It could be in the realm of literally like just coming back to reality. I can't see what it has in it. I have to look at it better. So you're working to clean up your area of work, your area of health, your area of being here in the now. That's literally what you're working to clean up. For Taurus, who's a Taurus? Taurus, sun and rising. You're working on cleaning up your fifth house area, which is the area of creativity. So for I would say, let yourself be creative. Let yourself be creative. You can't really control creativity. You have to just let it flow. And for Taurus, since they are a little bit, they can get a little bit stiff and not move and sort of stagnant because of this energy of, what's the word I'm looking for? Stubbornness. They can stop themselves from flowing. So you're cleaning up that area of your life. You're letting yourself get more creative. And how can you align that? How can you be that channel of grace through your creativity? For Gemini, sun and rising, this is happening in your fourth house of the home. So you're cleaning up your home life. So what does that mean to you? Is it relationships that are changing? Is it your environment at home that's changing? What are you cleaning up? Are you literally cleaning your house? That's cool too. I guess I should probably do that soon too. Take the day to clean. Clean. Geminis. It's time to clean the house. I'm just kidding. But home, more than just your house, home is where the heart is. So you're cleaning up, like, if you think about it in a deeper way, you're cleaning up like your heart space. You're clearing it out. You're like sweeping it. Like, yeah, let's sweep this, right? We've been doing the work. Let's make home feel more like home. Cancer, sun and rising. This is happening. Hey, Angie. This is happening in your third house of communication. So what are you cleaning up? You are getting better at communicating. You're getting more clear at communicating. You're working on being very clear when you communicate to people, when you say things to people, when you express yourself verbally, or when you use your throat chakra, which can be through writing as well. So you're cleaning up your ability to communicate with people. You're getting precise and to the point. That's what you're working on. Leo, the moon is happening, Leo, sun and rising. The moon is happening in your second house of finances. Oh my God, Wendy, that's crazy. In your second house of finances, you're cleaning up your bank account and stuff. Like, you're cleaning up the way, the way you make money, the way material possessions come into your life. You're getting organized in that area of your life. So this is the cleanup, but then an organization. You're organizing the way, like, the realm of financial stability in your life. Awesome, Nayeli. Thank you for sharing that. Virgo, the Virgo. Hello. This is happening in your first house of the self. You're cleaning up yourself. This is you. This is intense. Like, you're cleaning yourself up so that you can be more clear about yourself when you express yourself to the world, when you project yourself to the world. What do you want to project? You want to project confidence, right? You want to project clarity. You want to project like you know what's going on. You're in control. Control of your emotions and all of that. Like your mind, like you're not off the charts, right? You want to do like a self cleanup, which I would say is also a type of self-care. Self-care. Shanna's like, yep, and yep. Your daughter's a Virgo, Cancer rising. I hope she cleans up herself and her communication. So Libra, sun and rising. This is, for Libras, this is happening in your 12th house of the subconscious mind. There's still 33 people in here. That's so cool. So what are you cleaning up? You're like in Wonderland, and you're coming up to like different characters and being like, what do you represent? What do you have to do with my life? How are you related to my like traumas? I mean, you're in the ocean. You're like the Little Mermaid in the ocean, and you're like swimming through and like figuring it out, and you're dealing with it. You're cleaning up your subconscious mind, the things that are like not serving you anymore. You're cleaning yourself up at a very deep subconscious level. That's what you're working on. So what helps with that? Meditation, chanting mantras, karmic, meditations, chanting mantras, clearing karma, right? Those are the kind of things that helps clear the subconscious mind. Yes, Lindsay? There you go. Deidre? Yeah, Little Mermaid for sure. Oh my God. Yeah, it's like when I do meditation, when we do certain types of meditation, there's actually specific mantras that help clear the subconscious mind. It's called the Gobind Mukande mantra, but that's just one example. But you have to, it's about like sweeping yourself almost in an energetic way. That's what you're working on. Scorpio, sun and rising. This is happening in your 11th house of friends. Oh boy. Don't go overboard, Scorpio. I'm just kidding. But I think what you're realizing is which friendships are actually serving your destiny path and which are not. And also because this house represents how you're sharing your gifts with the world, it's like you're cleaning up so that you can share your gifts with the world in the way that you were meant to. So you clean up your life so that you can really truly share your gifts. And if you're not in the right kind of relationships, well, that's going to take you away from doing that. Right? That where's, do we remember that there's like a quote that talks about how it's like the company you keep really affects you. This is kind of what this is about. It's kind of what this is about. It's cleaning up like the networking world. Whoa, literally cleaning up the networking world. That's a good way to put it. Sagittarius, this is happening in your 10th house of career. So what you're cleaning up is like your career path. You're getting clear and precise and making a plan and getting organized about your career. That's what's happening for you. Oh, thanks, John. Thanks, John. If you're Capricorn, sun or rising, this is happening in your 9th house of spiritual integration. That's another big one. Because this is like the house of spirituality. Like I think you're getting clear about where you're at spiritually. What do you believe in? What do you believe in? I put my faith in God. Sorry. When I was younger, I like loved Tupac. I still do, but it's like a little intense, He's a little intense. Your ex is Scorpio, and I've told him that he needs to leave his toxic friends. Well, we all do, but I guess Scorpios especially right now. Holy crap. Right. What do you believe in? Where are you at? Come back to reality, but anchor the light. Capricorn, you need to anchor the light. Aquarius, this is happening in your 8th house of change and transformation. Thug life. Major enlightenment, repeating numbers, dreams, etc. So Aquarius. Eighth house, ruled by Pluto, change, transformation, the underworld. I mean, it's another kind of theme like Libra, different but similar. I think you're like understanding at a deep level how it is that you really have to change and transform in order to get to where you want to go. You're probably already doing a lot of changing and transforming, and this can be like any aspect. It can also have to do with finances too. Like there could be some kind of like money that's related to you, not because you made it, but like because it's coming from an outside source. Maybe there's clarity in that realm, because it's also the realm of inheritances and money that comes to you from other people. There could be some kind of clarification in that area of your life. But change and transformation is like going on the journey, and it's like the phoenix that gets burned in the fire but then rises from the ashes, right? You're cleaning up your life. You're cleaning up your life. You're getting ready for what's coming next. Pretty powerful. And then for Pisces, this is happening in the realm of your relationships. So you're cleaning up your relationships. This is the kind of relationships that's more along the lines of romantic, soulmate, twin flame partnerships. And then also it can be business partnerships too. So you're like cleaning up that area of your life, getting rid of the toxic people, recognizing, okay, is this a good thing for me? Is this going to serve me? Is this in good alignment? This reminds me, I'm going to add it this week. I'm going to start doing a different type of reading also beyond the transit reading, which is going to be like the synastry reading. So relationships, like putting your chart on top of someone else's chart or someone else's chart on top of yours and looking at like compatibility and stuff like that. And it can be, romantically, but it doesn't have to be. It can be sort of synastry, like with friends or some mother-daughter or mother-son, things like that. Or with your own mother, and like you can look at stuff like it can get crazy. But I actually do want to start doing those kind of readings as well. Yes, but you have to know your information, the time you were born, as well as the other person's information and the time they were born as well, to get exact information. So anyways, that's a side note. But we're done covering this stuff, you guys. What do you think? I mean, this is pretty crazy. I'm so excited. Tomorrow, Dawn and I are going to go to the beach because it's supposed to be like beautiful. And I'm going to try to get some images, some photos of the moon at the beach. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you can get more clarity on, your relationship with you and, with you and your child or whatever, or you or your mom, and see like what themes come up. It's kind of like when you think about it that way, it's a little bit looking at it in a karmic way. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, so we're gonna go to the beach tomorrow, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna have a ceremony. We're gonna do our full moon ceremony tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central. So get ready, because we're going to hit it hard. I'm just kidding. Get ready to have some fun tomorrow. And my voice is back. I can sing again. So we're going to sing. We're going to play. I'm really excited. Has anybody not been to a ceremony before? Because I do, so I chant sacred songs, and we create sacred space. I do a tarot and astrology reading for the collective. And then we dive into having fun, which is like playing music, listening to uplifting music. Songs written by yours, Julie. Thanks, Valerie. Thanks, Jennifer. I'm looking forward to this moon as well, Michelle. You're welcome, Joe. Yes, I'm going to go live tomorrow. I can't wait either. Oh, yeah, and I feel like I'm going to be up all night. It's all good. Who else is going to be up all night? All right, thank you guys. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to just kind of go and do my own thing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm planning a lot of cool stuff coming up. Just be on the lookout, because I'm going to be doing some really fun stuff on the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.